23rd of May. I haven't checked in for a while. To the YouTube, the journey video, and also my new Facebook page, IntYOUitive, also, which I've put up to start my new venture, so to speak. A lot of it come out of the journey as well, which, as I've said before, that I didn't hit the targets of what I wanted to do. That's with the K's walked, the weight lost, but it was learning, and it was a journey within myself that wasn't just because I didn't hit the targets didn't mean that it was all to waste or I've exactly failed. I failed in the targets that I wanted, but along the way I actually found a part of myself and a growth within myself that was which is quite fascinating. So with my intuitive work, a few of you have been invited to it or joined the Facebook page, but if not, have a look at it. I've posted a few things on my personal Facebook page as well with IntYOUitive, which is IntYOUitive. I think I've spelled that correctly. IntYOUitive. Go and have a look on that. There's a bit of content on there, but really what that is with IntYOUitive is throughout my journey I've realised I've had the ability to be able to see things within people or around people, energetically and also spiritually. This has come of a bit of a surprise to me as to what I can do and how quickly I've been able to pick this sort of work up. I've been working with some people as well that have helped me along the way to be able to bring this out and give me the confidence to be able to use it and sit with it and make it a part of who I am now and what I can do. So talking about it in an open, in the open is still a bit raw for me, and that's within myself because of where I've been, where I've come from, and pretty much who I've been for a good 40 years. This is a really different path to who I've been as a person, and for what I know myself as, and also for what other people know me as and know me for. So I'll explain a few things as well, and how I got there, and how I'm doing what I do, and hopefully I can continue to help a lot of people for a long time to come. So probably 5 to 6 years ago, I was doing a lot of work, personal development with a really good teacher, mentor, friend that really got me and a group of others willing to look deeper within ourselves to bring out the best in ourselves and to really find what our true calling was in life. It took some time to really find that. I didn't really know what it was. It was the teachings were on a way to be able to look within yourself. 7 attentions, it's called. There were 7 ways to be able to look within yourself. 7 levels that you could go through, or not go through, but learn about yourself and be able to get the answers within yourself with absolute honesty. If you're daring to be able to go there, but the thing was, it wouldn't work without it. So why do the work if you're only just going to bullshit yourself? Pretty much was the bottom line of it, and you could only go as far as your honesty would let you go. So I've always told stories around why I would do things or am who I am, and everyone's got stories, okay, that you can tell yourself, that you convince yourself with, and in the end it just may not be the absolute truth. So to break that down and sort of step back to be able to get to a point where you can see why things are the way they are, ways why you are the way you are, and why parts of your life probably continue to reoccur. It's because pretty much you're being the same person in, say, a different situation, but the end result keeps coming up the same. And things might change for a little while for the better or even for worse, but you get back to some core beliefs and core ways that you are as a person, and sometimes that does more damage to you and people around you. But you give them different labels, or you give them different stories as to why things happen. So getting to be able to break that apart, pull it all apart and almost put yourself back together, is actually quite a incredible. It's an incredible process, and it's really bloody. It's hard. It's hard at times. But when you get through the hard times, and the hardest part's just the honesty of what you tell yourself, and what really the honesty of where you want to go, who you want to be, and putting some stops to the reasons why you may continue to be who you are. If that doesn't align with where you want to go, or who you want to be, or who you really are, it's putting some stops to that. But having the guts to go through and make those hard calls on yourself, because it's easy to go back and start blaming other people for why things may have gone wrong in your life, or why you've ended up where you are, how you are. You might blame friends, family, relationships, past relationships, partners, so on and so forth. But until you can really look within yourself and understand that you may have possibly played a big part in where you are and why you are as well, and I'm not saying you take 100% of the blame, but you sort of look at it in a way that you look at it from a different angle, which will provide you a clearer, almost looking from above the situation, and not in the situation of why it happened to me, You almost distance yourself from yourself to be able to see clearer. And I've been able to do that with a lot of situations and a lot of ways, or a lot of things that have happened in my life, and therefore not being a victim of what's happened to me. So in that I opened right up and was given some tools to be able to deal with certain aspects of my life, and then being able to put it into a business form as well, and really be able to move forward and progress in a positive way, and see how that plays out in my life. And it has been positive to a massive degree. Businesses prospered during this time. My own internal relationship with myself has just improved out of sight. The self, or the negative talk to myself that may be there, or may have been there in the past, saying that I'm not good enough or not deserving of stuff that's happened in my life, or if something good has happened, trying to find a reason why that shouldn't have happened to me, or and even the opposite of that, the negative stuff that has happened to me, saying, oh yeah, that'll be right, of course it's going to happen like this. I've been able to shut that out, or even pull myself up on if things do get to that, because I won't say that it doesn't happen, because the human aspect of being human, you have that self-doubt, you have that a confidence issue, or that little voice in your head that will play games with you, talk bullshit to you, and you believe it because it's always bloody been there. And that voice is, well, you don't have to listen to it all the time, because that voice is only living on past experiences, feelings, emotions, same things, but you're looking at life, or you look at life through your past events, so like your past eyes. Okay, so if you can sort of cut that to a certain degree, then it gives you the freedom to be able to move forward, or at least be in the present moment, to be able to move forward and put a lot of things behind you that won't affect you moving forward. That's in the negative way, and building on the positive as well. You can. The steps forward I've made in a positive direction has been quite incredible. I mean, I've always been a sort of confident person within myself, but I've realised as well that confidence has come from a place of ego, and also a place of what I've thought other people would expect me to be in that certain situation. And a lot of that come from a football career, where I wanted to be a certain way, and then people expected me, I guess, to be that certain way. But who the hell was I impressing? I don't know. It wasn't me, but I thought I was. I thought that's what I needed to be to feel worthy of what I'm doing, or where I'm at, or even to mask what I've done, or where I've been. That might not be so awesome or so cool. So in the work I've done with this certain group, we took the next step to really go deep within ourselves to find what was really holding us back. You know, there was a group of us, or a couple of other mates. We went to a retreat. It was through another mate of mine that recommended this to us, that we were actually ready for this next step, which was a really, really deep look into what was holding us back. So pretty much you're facing your biggest fears, you're facing the stuff that's really, really hidden away, but plays a daily role in the way you are. And this really presents some issues that may have been holding you back within your life, and you're faced there to deal with it straight up. There's no getting out of it, no running away from it, because it's there. If you do run away from it, it's only just going to circle back to come up in another way or present itself in another way. You're always going to have to deal with it to be able to get past it and move forward. If you don't, then it just plays up or comes up, and you know, it's just like a circle. You just keep going round and round and round. Each time things like that come up, you know, they seem to hit you harder as well. So doing this was quite scary, but the tools that I had through the group that we were with, I knew I was ready to be presented or to go into this. I was curious on, all right, what the hell is there? I thought I knew, and I did. I knew what the hell was holding me back, or I was covering up or masking or acting out on because of, and it really, when I went to this place within myself, a lot of things did come up, and they were quite scary. Scary in a way emotionally that I've held it down for so long that I've had protectors of other emotions and other feelings mask over the top of that. And this is what a lot of people do as well through, you can call them either traumas or events in your life that happen, and it gets protected or covered by another emotion. And then anytime that gets triggered within you, there's maybe another emotion that covers that. And you can think, if things happen in your childhood and you're 40, then you've got nearly 30 years of layers of emotions that have gone over, things that have happened in your life that are buried so deep under so many layers within you that sometimes you don't even know what the bloody hell you're acting out for. Okay, because the top two emotions are really fighting or getting brought up, getting triggered, but they're protecting others underneath as well. So, and each one is protecting the other one underneath that. So you get to a core issue that, you know, you can go through bloody 10 years of psych help and you wouldn't even get through, you're lucky to get through some of those layers. Now, I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist or ever even been to see one, really. So I'm not going to go into that area. All I'm going to say is what it's done for me. It blew it wide open. Just was bare. was bare. Was bare for me. Was bare and there for me to see it in its truth, with no other emotion or no other story around it to protect it or cover it up. Now this was, as I said, very, very deep, and I went there a number of times, and a lot of things got brought up, and a lot of things were dealt with. And the best thing about it was the understanding of it. Not that I've brought it up and dealt with it or made peace with it or understood it. Or made peace with it. It was that I understood exactly what it was and what it did and how it affected my life and how it affected decisions that I'd made throughout my life, and decisions I'd made just with everything, day to day, big decisions with relationships, with others, decisions I've made for myself, or why I've held back, or why I've gone, why it really stripped me bare to why I am who I am today. So with that retreat that I did, or those couple of days that really stripped me bare, another thing also happened as well, that I was able to get to a point within myself that I understood myself and was able to tap into a side of myself that I could get answers from myself pretty quick. And this was the breaking up of all the emotion and all the layers and all the shit that had been all over me or all around me throughout my life. And with what I'd done previously with the 7 attentions, it seriously gave me some serious tools that as soon as something would happen or could happen in my life, I was able to just go ... Okay, that's what it is there. And it wasn't an excuse to make it okay. These were ways for me to either stop what had happened, because I know what happens if I veer off into that path, going through old habits and old emotions and everything there. You can put yourself going, okay, I know why I'm starting to feel either anxious or nervous or angry or I shut off, where I could stop myself and go, no, okay, that's what used to happen. This is why this used to happen. I understand what's going on, and therefore when you open yourself up and understand what's happening within you, then you start to understand what's happening in other people as well. So you can read other people energetically, but how they're coming, and understand their story, because they've got the same shit as what I've got or I had going on. So they're coming from their belief and their understanding of themselves and the situation and why that is happening. And you know, it's and this was able to able to help me within personal relationships with people on a day-to-day basis, and also work relationships as well, and even going to see new customers. I was able to, you know, the way I was able to talk with new customers, existing customers, where there's sometimes a level of who knows more, or my position says this and you need to prove yourself to me, sort of stuff. The facing off in business deals, I was able, through that I was able to go into business meetings and bring even people that didn't matter if they were CEOs of companies, maintenance managers, property managers, or the day-to-day staff there. It didn't matter who they were. I was able to find a common ground and an understanding, or a level of bringing us all onto a level playing field, so to speak. And it was quite interesting to sort of be able to break someone down pretty quick, to understand where they're coming from, how they are, or be able to turn a conversation onto a level. As I said, a level playing field. Now, this wasn't tricking people into getting my own way. It was just a way of breaking down egos when you clash. Okay, so whenever anyone meets someone else, there's a clash of personalities, and you know, everyone's different. But it's just it's pretty cool how it goes on. And I could go onto this, go off tangent and talk about that a whole lot more, but maybe I'll save that for later on. But anyway, through this retreat and this understanding of myself, I was able to get within myself to a meditative state where I was able to find peace within myself and peace around me. And almost when you meditate, you can have things come up and you deal with that, or just a sense of peacefulness within yourself. And through that, through the meditation, I had things coming to me. Okay, and I was able to see things for what they are within some people. But I had almost like a spiritual encounters. I had what you can say almost like ghosts or spirits or whatever coming to me, and I was able to communicate or understand with them what was going on. So I then saw another. I went into another group, and this was learning about meditation and the spiritual side, and it was just a group, just a group. I think there was 10 of us, and it was like an entry level spiritual course, which you learn about meditation, crystals, symbology. It was all like a round. It was a round sort of educational sort of just a class. It ran for about 10 weeks, I think it was, and I got introduced to that through a couple of mates that introduced me to another guy that said come along, and through that it was quite weird. And this is getting into the intuitive side of what I do now. As this guy, my mate, was talking to me saying, you've got to get into these classes, mate, you'll love it, you'll really get something out of it. He was very spiritual himself and could see people could read people, and he could already see things in me that I couldn't really see in myself. And he goes, no, this is definitely down your line. You'll love it. So as he's telling me about what's going on, he's describing where it is, what it is, and how we do it, or what was coming up. And as he was telling me, I was just picturing this this lady in a room, and what the class would sort of be like. Like, oh yeah, this sounds pretty cool. All right, well, I'm going to do it because I'm open to it. The weekend retreat I'd just come off, I was open to all that type of work to try and just get a deeper sense of myself again and work with that. And maybe this was something I needed, or that could help me go along, or help me with what I'd already worked with, and sort of get better at what I'm doing. So they come to I think it was the Wednesday night, and I've got there, and as I've walked in, I saw the lady that I was already thinking, that I could see in my mind when I was getting told the story. Exact person. The room that I walked into was exactly what I was picturing when I was getting told I should come to this place. So that blew me away, and I'm like, bloody hell! Okay, coincidence? No worries at all. Coincidence. Okay. So as the class went through, the teacher started sort of leaning towards me and goes, "Oh, I'm getting pulled to you for some reason. I don't know what it is. Have we met before or something like that?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't think so," but I hadn't told her that I'd pictured her the weekend before. So as we've gone through, we spoke afterwards, and she kept saying, "No, it's like you're meant to be here. Just stay with it." And she was very spiritual. She's a medium, and the most spiritually gifted person I've ever met. And jumping forward in the story, she's a person that I've become very, very close with the working and the spiritual side of what we do. And yeah, we bounce things off each other all the time. So with her, I already trusted her because, okay, well, this lady I've met, my teacher has led me down, has told me, stick with it. All right, well, I'm open to it. No worries at all. We got into a meditation class, and I had something jump into my meditation, and it was something dressed in black. It was a nasty type of angry person. The best way to explain it. It was a person dressed in black. I couldn't quite see its face, but it was there to either scare me off or attack me. So, not knowing what the hell was going on, because this meditation was supposed to be a peaceful meditation as well, and this didn't happen to me. So this thing had jumped in, and I ended up attacking it to get it out of what, this is supposed to be my place. No one's supposed to be in here. Oh, this is my place. What the hell are you doing here? And I kicked it out. I got rid of it. Now, through the class meditation, my teacher had 10 other people in this meditation, but she could see what was going on with each person. We go through the circle, and she says, "Cal, we'll get to you at the end." And everyone's talking about their lovely meditation and what's going on. And I'm like, well, this didn't happen to me. What the hell's going on? Why is this? The thing this is really nasty that's happened to me, and I'm the only bloody person that has happened to. So I was getting a bit sort of agitated. And I remember this is one of my first meditation experiences, and this thing had jumped in. And she's like, no, we'll get to the end of you. And I'm like, no, I want to say what I've got to say, because I'm not understanding what the hell's going on here. She's like, all right. So I got into my story, and she cut me off halfway, because I could see in the faces of other people what the hell is going on here, and what my story was actually could have been putting people off what was going on. So anyway, I went up after the class, and she explained to me that Cal, in this sort of work, what she could see in me was I was gifted to be able to do a lot and work with this side of consciousness, energy, universal energy, and these things were jumping in to try and throw me off course, to scare me off, to say no, sort of pack my bags and go home and go, this isn't for me. But during the meditation, what had happened was I didn't pack my bags and run away. I stood up to it and attacked it and got rid of it. Excuse me. Now, that may have been because of the retreat, who was running our retreat a couple of weeks prior was a protector in his own right. It was a shaman, and what he had done was built a space to protect, so everyone could get up what they needed to get, and they could move on. He'd insist in getting rid of them. Now, he stood up to a lot of them and got he jumped them. He attacked them in a spiritual, protective, shamanic warrior type way. And I pretty much did the same. I'm not saying I'm shaman or warrior or whatever as well, but the attack of something nasty, I believe, come from what I previously experienced. So after the class, I spoke with my teacher, and she said, this is your path if you choose it, to work with it, but I'm going to have to hold on, because it's going to be a fast entry into this spiritual world and life. So I went, okay, well, if that's what's for me, that's what's for me. To a degree. I was still going, what the hell, I don't understand any of this, but what I know is something tried to throw me off, and when it was there, what the bloody hell was that? So after understanding what this side of the work does, and what this side of spirituality and doing all of this is, I went back and met with my teacher during the week. She said, no, come back and I'll show you I'll show you a couple of things. And I met up with her, I think it was during the week, the very next week, and she showed me what she does and stepped me through what she does and how she does it, because that was my next step in my spiritual growth, my spiritual path. And it was the protective side of spirituality. So it was a clearing out of any negative energies and understanding energies, and seeing souls, spirits, and working with them and helping them move on or move out. The first place I cleared out was my own house. It was a new house-ish. It was only a couple of years old, but there was something there. There was entities there, dark spirits, you could say, that had not necessarily didn't mean the whole place was evil or bad, but they get brought in by everybody. Everyone, I'm not going to say everyone has them, but you know, they can come from bad moods, bad days, whatever. It opens up that space for anything negative to come in, and things stick around, right? So a lot of people are oblivious to it and don't think about it or want to know about it or just whatever. And to a lot of people, this is hippie bullshit, right? But to others, it's serious work and a serious way of life. Okay, so either or, you can choose what you want, how you want to live. That's fine, and this is no way in any way saying that if you don't believe in this that you're wrong or whatever. I'm just explaining my story and my journey and my path and to what we do here. So I was able to clear some things out of my house and learn protection work on how to say protect your house, protect yourself, protect your family from bad vibes, bad energy, clear out the energy, get in touch with that and feel it, and be able to work with it. Okay, so after doing my house, I couldn't believe it. I broke down. I started crying. I couldn't believe what the hell I was seeing, what the hell I was doing, what the hell I was able to do. It was such a bloody massive leap into like an unknown space that previously I had no idea about. I mean, I'd seen ghosts before. I had an encounter when I was a teenager, 19, 20. But working with it or being able to remove these things was quite daunting, was quite just incredible. And sometimes when I talk about it, I can't believe, you know, all this stuff happens and I've been able to do what I can do. So therefore, after I've cleared out my house and you know, there was some things there and cleared them out, which weren't too bad, but I understood energies more. So I'd done some work for some other people that said, "Oh, come and do my house," and in that I'd gone from I did the same thing. I was able to clear out a person's house, but I actually found through getting energies out, I could see them and move them out, and they would pretty much freely disappear or get out of the house and go. There are other energies that were staying around, and I found one of them was a boy, a little boy. So I was able to move him out, but that was what we call lost soul work. So some of these energies, ghosts, spirits, whatever you want to say they are, you don't always have bad spirits. You can have good spirits as well, that just hang around. They may not have thought that they've passed on yet. They get stuck in between, and they need some help just moving on. So moving them on, you've also got the ones that are that are there that still think they're alive and they hang around. And a lot of these people aren't always just children, but you get a lot of young. Well, what I've found is I've experienced a lot of young souls that you can tell that are kids, and a lot of them are frightened. But you can call in other guides, their guides, to help them move on. You know, this one house I was able to do that and help someone move on. And as he was getting let out the door, he stopped and turned around and said thank you to me. Now that was the most incredible experience I'd ever had with this work. Wasn't just that I thought my path was just getting anything bad out of the house, so it was an attacking and aggressive way of getting things out and moving things on. That is a big part of what I do and what I can do. But the other side of it with the lost soul work is the actual love and light side, where you do help others move on. Now this little boy that the guide had come in and I'd convinced him to move on, when he turned around and thanked me, that was the most rewarding feeling I've ever had, to be able to help someone do that. And it was a deeper understanding of what I do, what I can do, and what I'm capable of doing. Okay, there's a lot of I, but I'm just telling my story. But there's a lot of people out there that can do this as well, and I just understood when they were saying, oh, it's so rewarding, this work is so rewarding. Like, it always felt like whenever I booted something out that wasn't good, it was just like I was cleaning up the house and moving it out. But this lost soul work, the entities that weren't, or the energies that weren't bad, they were just stuck. That gave it that gave it a whole nother way of looking at things and looking at life and understanding the life, death, afterlife, what happens. All that just sort of hit me to say, look, Jesus, it's just bigger than, this whole thing is bigger than what we're doing right now. You know, this human experience, life that we've got. That's not taking anything away with what we've got now, because life is life. Okay, we get one shot at what we're doing right now in this body, but what we do afterwards is you're still alive in spirit. Anyway, I can go down another bloody rabbit hole there as well. So I'll stop there before I say anything more, or go down that way, because that's something I won't get back to. I won't get back to the story I'm on. So moving on, from that point onwards, with some work that I've done to help other people, I helped a heap of people clear out their own homes now. People I know, people I've never met before, just like friends and family have passed on my name to people, and being able to help settle their houses, settle themselves. And what this does is, when you clear out an energy, doesn't mean like you're fixed or whatever, but what it does is just clears any negative, maybe attachments that may be there. There's things that just hold on to you or get their hooks into you and don't let you go. So people are up and down, emotional, on the emotional wave all the time. Some people, when they hit their highs, but their downs are down, and they drag on for days, and then they slowly come out, but then quickly back into being down. And that can be depression, that can be whatever it is, just to keep your energy low. And when you've got attachments and negative attachments, that's where they want to keep you. They want to keep you down. They don't want you up, because when you're up, you're a different energy, you're a different frequency, and you're too much for them to hang on. Now their lifeblood is you being down. So what I do, my work, is I can move these things off you to give you the space to just give you the space to choose again. Okay, it's like, it's walking you to the door, but you need to walk through that door. Okay, meaning by that, I can clear an energy out, but it gives you the space to sit there and go, okay, well, I want things to change in my life. I've now got a space in time where I can choose to do things a little bit differently, that I'm not asking for those things back. Okay, so when I say asking for those things back, it's not like, oh, well, things go bad in your life, oh geez, I've asked for that. No, it's realizing what is happening in your life that isn't positive, and what things you can do gives you that space for you to sit there and go, no, I don't want this back again. Okay, so what happens is you can still have your ups and downs. So your ups are up, but your downs that may have put you in a depressed state. And I don't want to just lag things on depression. It might be addiction, anything like that as well. Anything that lowers your frequency. Okay, where your depression or your lowest state or your lower frequencies may be there for days and days and days. You'll still have your bad and shit days, but you bounce out of them a little bit quicker, from my experience and how I've helped people. That the feedback I get is that people bounce back pretty quick. Okay. Now, inviting things back or things happening again is that you make decisions in life with what you want to do or how you want to be. If you don't change your habits or the way you are, and you just keep going along in life doing the same things, then you're going to attract the same things, because it's all an exchange of energy. Okay, so that's what I meant by asking for things back. Your attraction of the negative frequency, the negative energy, is what you're trying to either let go of, or you can ask for a different type of energy in return. Okay, so doing what I do is really giving people the space to be able to choose how they want to live the rest of their lives. Now, I've helped people make decisions that have been absolutely life-changing. It's helped, obviously, the person. It's helped families. It's helped children. I've helped children. I've helped yeah, the children one is pretty big with what I've been able to do, but I think, yeah, it's really it's different. It's a different thing with children, because when you move energies off people and you bump things around as well, there's life lessons that we've all got to experience in this lifetime, and if you come in and you start changing things around, then you can take away someone's life lesson. Okay, so it might be hardship, it might be just a way of life that this person's agreed to be born with or come back into. But if I bump that around and move that off, then they haven't learnt their life lesson. I've actually changed the course. So you've got to be careful as well with what you do or what I do. So therefore that becomes a great responsibility. But on the intuitive side, what I thought I needed to do was start getting this out there. And another long video, if people have looked at my journey videos, I know I can drag on, but this is a bit of a story or a bit of an insight into what I've done since, as I said, for a few years now. But out of the journey, really anchored that want, or that calling, that I wanted to be able to help people. Okay, and what I've gone through and what I've done, the way my life has been, I believe that my story and what I can do now can really help people in a positive way. And that's what I want to pass on. That's what I want to be able to help people with, to help people live the best life that they can live. Because I know how much my life has changed, and is changing. I'm not going to say I'm perfect. I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I've got a hell of a lot that I still need to learn about myself. But the cool thing is that I can do it, and I know it's there. It's there to do it. There to I've got other lessons. I can always go deeper within myself to bring things up to make myself better. But if I can help other people along the way, and other families and other just other people, then I want to help. So with what I can do, if I'll put this up on my IntYOUitive page for everyone to see. I might put this up on the journey as well. I'm yet decided. I'm away driving through to work at the moment. This is the time I get to press record on the video and just let it out. So there's a hell of a lot more I can say about what I do and how I've come to it, and what IntYOUitive can give people along the way of. I'll just throw this in, but along the way I've become level 2 Reiki, so Reiki practitioner. So the Reiki practice that I do on people has had a massive positive effect on getting people realigned energetically with their day-to-day moving through life, and just breaking up that blockage of energy that may have been holding a few people back. So that's a great way of first getting going. with Reiki. So if you're ever interested in anything like that, please let me know. I can always book in a time to discuss it with you, or give you a Reiki session. And also one other thing I've come across, which is pretty it's pretty exciting and really cool for, I don't know another word I can say for it. I'm still trying to come to terms with exactly how that makes people feel, or how it makes me feel knowing I can do this. Is that people have passed, you can go and see a medium, and the medium can tell you if someone's coming through that, your aunties come through, or your grandmothers come through, they're telling me this, that and that. Now, I know some great mediums. I've been to see a number of mediums, and what they can do is totally mind-blowing. Okay, I've come across a way of communicating this way as well, although I'm not a medium as such. But what I can do is, instead of, say you come to see me and want to speak with your grandmother, whoever it is, your dad, kids, whatever it is that have passed, instead of the person that's on the other side coming through me, I can actually take you to a space where that person can come to you, and you have that communication. So the messages that would usually come through a medium actually come to you, because you are face to face with that person. Now that's pretty daunting and pretty scary for a lot of people, but that is something I've found that I have the ability to do for people, and I have done it for a number of people as well. That is quite incredible with that ability, and believe me, I'm not talking from a state of ego or how good am I. Just the ability to be able to do that for other people is just awesome. Okay, so if you want to know more about that, please let me know, and I can discuss it. More, or if you've got any questions about it, please let me know. Okay, so that was a little insight, I'll say, over an hour long, of where I've been, what I've been doing, and how I've got here. There's a hell of a lot more to say, and hell of a lot more that's happened, and also the pros and cons of this type of work with life, and how that has, the effects that has on friends, family, all that as well. I just hope that what I'm doing and what I can do has an overall positive effect on everybody, and the person that I'm trying to become or becoming. I still have flaws. I'm still, in a way, the same person I've always been. I just have a different way of looking at things, and a different understanding of who I am and what I want to do before my number's up. So, all in all, I just want people to be happy. I just want people to find their happiness, no matter what that is, because everyone can find it. It's not lost. It's never lost. You just lost the way to find it. And hopefully with what I can do, can open a few doors and kick over a few rocks within, or stones within yourself, that we can peer under and get up, break out, understand that, and be able to just get to the next level and find that little bit more happiness in your life that people may be searching for. And if you've already found it, you've already got it, then absolutely awesome. Not everyone's got shit that they need to worry about. Not everyone's got shit that they don't feel that they have to get better, and this isn't for everyone. And I'm not saying just because I'm talking that everyone has to. If you're not doing this type of work, then you're not complete within yourself, or you're not content within yourself. I hope to Christ that you are. But if you need just a little something, a little Kickstarter to get it all happening again, and hopefully pointing in the way that you want your life to be, no matter what age you are, you're never too old to start. I will say you're probably too young some people may be too young to be able to really, pull apart and rebuild. And it's not always a rebuild thing. For me, I'm happy to take you as deep as you want to go within yourself, but also at the same time, you can just dip your toe in the water and see what it's about as well. I'm happy just to do that. It's your call with what we do. I'm always respectful for what you want, where you need to go, and I can always see what. I'll never throw you in the deep end and say this is what it's all about, to scare the hell out of you, because I understand that there are some places that will be hard to come back from if you get thrown in the deep end straight away. But I don't do that at all. I'll put stops to things, or ask for your permission to be able to go further as well. Anyway, but I can go through that later on. Thanks for listening. If you've listened for the whole hour, thanks. Let me know if you have any questions. All right. Have a great day.